Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, I'm late, as always. Most people who know me would know that this is nothing to be surprised by. I like to say that I was born 2 weeks late and never caught up, which is true. But regardless, I'm here. I wanted to take some extra time to edit this a little bit differently, and of course I also got sick and I didn't want to make everyone listen to my man voice, so still a little sick, but I'm getting better. Hopefully the manliness is mostly gone. But regardless, I'm really enjoying Procreate. Again, still kind of new to it, but I'm learning and getting better with each one, and honestly kind of preferring it over color pencils just because I'm insanely lazy. I don't like the setup and clean up and constantly having to sharpen pencils. My goodness, it's a constant struggle. But you know, art props. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. What kind of made me, I guess, decide to do this piece, where my inspiration, I would say, came from is I was talking to a bunch of friends of mine. I have some artist friends on Instagram, and it's a big group of us, and I've been on there for at least let's see, 3 to 4 years now, and they've been on there about the same, maybe longer, but a lot of them I'm sure you know. In fact, I guess I'll go ahead and name them. There's, let's see, Erica, which you guys know as Articuno, Abs, which is Abs Art, Haley, which is Vivid Artistry, but she used to go by Bulbous Art, so I'm sure most of y'all know them. And then, of course, Rosie, Ampharosie 181, and I'm sure everyone knows Reed. So yeah, we talk almost every day, every now and then, try and keep in touch and just keep up with what's going on and really keep pushing each other to create more art. And so we were talking about like the old days of Instagram. Instagram's still great now, but it just, back when it first started and everyone was getting on it and there were so many people and like different artists on there, it was so much easier to get noticed. Like since they've changed the algorithm, it's really not, it's fun, but it's not as fun, and it's a lot harder to get your stuff out there and let people see it because it's just geared completely differently. It's almost like a business now. But yeah, so we were talking about the old days, and Erica Articuno had told us about she showed each piece of art from each one of our accounts, what she first saw that was what made her remember us, what made her remember our names. And so when we were talking about it, I just got kind of, I guess, nostalgic and really excited about how I used to just be so into art and just so much more into just producing all these different things that I loved and like sharing it with people and getting feedback. And somehow I just kind of fell out of that. I don't know if college got in the way. Well, I don't know if it did for a little bit, but I don't know why I kind of just lost that drive. And then I didn't pick it back up until here recently, especially now that I have this, because I've always wanted to try and do a YouTube channel or something like that and just kind of show people how I create stuff. But one, I'm very lazy. Two, I always told myself like reasons. I made excuses for half the things. I don't have the equipment. I'd have to go buy it, which I technically don't. But I do have a camera. I don't have like a tripod, but there's so many ways you could set that up. So don't sell yourself short, kids. You can do it. Just gotta stop being lazy. Don't be like me. Learn from me. But yeah, so that's basically how I started this. And of course, you know, the jars are just like my thing. I don't know what it is about it. I love creating these things that are like, I love mixing realism with cartoon and like having these different elements and making it look lifelike but at the same time not. Like, it's just so much fun to put those two together. I've always loved hyper realistic stuff and wanted to create more and more of it. And I'm like, the jars are honestly, every time I start one of these, I am intimidated by the jar. Every time I do it, I don't want to start the jar, which is why it's always last. But it also kind of just is a good step to do that one last so I can cover everything the right way. But yeah, the gems here, they were a lot harder than I thought they'd be. It took me a little bit to kind of figure out how I wanted to get the look. I wanted them to be a bit more transparent, but they didn't really work out. But I'm still pretty okay with how everything turned out. I like it, and I had a lot of fun. I spent about 12 hours and I think 28 minutes according to Procreate. But yeah, I spent a good bit of time on this, and then of course being sick, again, just pushed it back. I am the worst with time management, which I'm sure most people who follow me and know me have learned, but still working on it. We're gonna get better. I do want to help, I guess, guide you guys on how I do the glass, and you'll kind of see it more as we go along. I kind of changed the way I edited this video, which is also why it took longer, because I want to improve each video that I do. So I'll pick one or two aspects to improve on for the next video, so I can just keep getting better and better. But, oh, sorry, lost my train of thought. Where are we at? Yeah, so the glass, it'll move around. It'll move around to different areas and show you how I'm doing it. But I kind of start off with, I want to say, the mid-ground of colors. Like, there's like, the darkest colors, your mid-grounds, and then like your brightest colors. So I kind of start off with the mid and also like a basic outline of the jar. And so then I'll start with like, I have like a palette set aside too. Like, I pick out colors that go with the jar. And another thing is, if you're doing this, if you're trying to do a jar, have a reference photo. Go online, go on Google, you can go to hobbylobby.com, find a jar that you want, that you like, or multiple ones, and take pieces from it. I actually did that with this one. The main jar I used, I didn't like the glass effect it had, but I wanted that shape, and then I went to another jar and used the details on that jar to work for this jar, and it works. You just gotta play around with it, but having a reference is key, or you are not going to get this to look right. And even then, still, it takes a lot of practice, because my first jar was by far nowhere near close to what I can do now. And I'm actually thinking about redoing that first one. I don't know if you guys know or have seen it. It's one of my favorite ones. It's the one with lapras in a jar. It's the first one I ever did, and I love it. It's awful compared to today's standards, like what I can do now, but I still love it. It's a lot of fun to look at and just kind of relive, like, I don't know, where I've come, I guess, to where I am now. So yeah, it's great, and I'm definitely going to redo that one and several other ones if I can. I am just having so much fun with this. It's just too much fun to stop, and I want to keep doing that. I do want to do more things, but I want to do that. And another thing, before we go to the glass, I wanted to tell you guys where I kind of got my idea for the glass jars. I don't know if any of you guys watch Banana Jimana. I believe that's still her name. She's on YouTube. She is phenomenal. She's amazing. She's like a magician, honestly. I love watching her videos. It is so inspiring and just so shocking and confusing how she can be so talented and just do all the things she does. But anyways, she was talking about how she would put things in a jar, and if you didn't know what to do for a background, put it in a jar, and there you go. And I was the worst. I'm still kind of the worst with backgrounds. I hate them. And it's so much detail. They're so intimidating. So I'm just like, I'll just put it in a glass jar. That's fine. So that's where the ideas came from, and then it just kind of was a hit from there, and I just kept doing it, and it's a lot of fun. So back to how you do the glass. So yeah, like I said, you start out with the mid-ground, and don't look at it as a whole, because if you look at it as a whole, you're going to be insanely overwhelmed, and you're not going to make things look right. You're going to start rushing because you just want to finish it. Pick spots and go from there, and then pick, so either pick spots you want to go from, or pick one color you're going to do, and then find that color on every part of the glass. But again, work in sections, go around it, which is why I'm moving around here, as you can see with the editing. But you'll go from there, and then kind of build it up from there. Do the mid-ground, go to your darkest color next, which is like the blacks, and then I like to throw in blue, just because I like glasses is very reflective of colors. Like, it is, very see-through, but it reflects things. So that's why I like to add colors in with it, especially since Articuno is blue. I wanted to show some of that reflecting. I honestly feel like I could have added more, but I didn't want to go overboard with it. I wanted Articuno to be the main focus of the piece. Like, it just draw you in. I didn't want to just throw a bunch of stuff in there. So yeah, you do that, and then you'll add your shadows and highlights, and just kind of keep going over it and keep looking at that jar and making sure everything's right. But once you get it from there, it's pretty much set. And just want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Thanks.